3, 2,
Flick. Flick. Na 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 Cheyenne. Na 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 na. Sure. Come here.
I hate you so much.
Say hi to the. Say hi to the shoot.
out of here.
She had to shoot. Cheyenne, how do you feel today? Cheyenne.
I'm gonna punch you.
Here we see the wild metal guy in the wild. Groin.
Natural habitat.
It is natural habitat. Here we see the rare footage of Jacob Toy actually working. What a beautiful sight.
Roar!
Oh boy, he's wild. Alright, I am here with another SP of JCC TV Production. What is your name?
Jordan Timmerman.
And Jordan, what got you into JCC TV Production?
Well, back in about April, I want to say, there was an open house for JCC. I never really thought about going to college, but I was like, nah, I'll give JCC, I'll just see what they got. And the one place that seemed kind of interesting was the TV studio, so I went on that part of the tour. When I came here, it's like, wow, they got cameras, green screen, they got a whole studio set up, they got editing bays, they got switchboard, soundboard. It's like, I think I'll give college a try.
So, when you first got to the open house, what was your impression of like all the equipment?
I thought it was really like just professional. It's like, wow, these people actually have money to spend on things.
What do you think of our professor, Bill Olson?
He's great. It's like he's been working at Entertainment Tonight for like 20 years. Lots of experience. He knows what he's talking about.
Now, what's your biggest thing you want to take away from JCC TV Production?
Just the experience, just meeting new people, getting to know how to work a camera. I already knew how to edit somewhat, but now I know a lot more. And I can use Adobe Premiere and my usual editing software. You can use switchboards, prompter, but I think generally I'll just stick to editing.
Now, is that something you want to do with your life, is post-production work?
Yeah, generally. I think I could do most things. I can work the camera. I can even be personnel if I really wanted to, but I think editing's my stick.
So you're going to do that mostly for the rest of your life?
Yeah.
All right, so what's your favorite memory so far of JCC TV Production?
Favorite memory? I gotta think about this. Honestly, probably shooting my project for this year, because last year's project was a total train wreck. Like that hunk of garbage just needs to die. But this new project was really fun. It was like ghost hunting, but there was like a twist at the end. Friend Andy actually edited a good chunk of that, and that was the first thing I never really directly edited, because we actually had someone who really knew what they were doing instead of me trying to. It's like, yeah, I know what I'm doing, and then I'm secretly off on Google. It's like, okay, so how do I make a jump cut or whatever?
So we had an editing seminar with Corey Nadell. Did he help you a lot with that?
I mean, a lot of the things I kind of already knew, but I actually, funny you mentioned him, I actually did a job shadow with him at Digital, and I actually did learn a lot there about what his job was.
All right, and you said your first project was a hunk of garbage.
Yes, I was.
Can you go into why?
I was never a fan of what we were going to do. It was about like telling kids what to do and not to do in Halloween. I was never a fan with it to begin with. We never really could get off the ground with the idea. We had like one thing we recorded, and we were going to add more stuff to it, but we never really did. So we ended up making this like funny compilation thing. I thought it was good what we got out of it, but I don't know.
All right, so you worked with two teams, one in intro TV production, one in studio production practicum. Choose one person you worked with from both of the classes and explain why they're the most memorable.
Well, in the first class, oddly enough, was someone not in my group. It was actually Craig. I think his last name is Samiris or
McFadden.
McFadden. Oh wait, Craig Samiris. That's the guy who created Screw Attack.
Right.
Craig McFadden. I actually taught him a lot about editing because I really enjoyed his project. And he didn't really know how to edit, so I helped him a lot with that. And then this year, by far, probably Andy. It's like I learned a little here and there about editing from him, and just meeting him in general.
All right, so would you recommend this class, either class, the studio production practicum, intro to TV, to anyone?
I recommend intro to TV, student practicum. I would only recommend if you really think this is something you want to do with your life.
All right, well, I want to thank you for being on the documentary, and you are free to go. All right, so here I have
Jacob Toy.
And Jacob, how did you hear about JCC TV Production?
I actually heard about it from my roommate, John Spat. He heard that from Simone, which is also my advisor. And I actually came, not last semester, but the semester before I was even in JCC. I stopped into Bill's class for one class. I don't know if you remember me then.
I do.
That was the first time I heard about it.
Yeah.
I loved it since then.
Now, was it an easy choice to go into studio production practicum after you chose TV?
Oh yeah, that was the first class I asked to have.
Really?
Yeah, immediately. I was like, I need to be in Bill's class again. I love what I'm doing in that class, and I love where it could take me in life.
Now, what have you learned in TV production so far?
Yeah, specifics, there's a lot. Basically, anything you need to know to be able to run or be behind the sets or scenes of a TV production and how it goes all together and stuff. All the basics, how to run a camera, how to work the lights, how to set up the lights, how to act in an interview, how to interview someone. I could keep going. There's so many things I've learned.
And has Bill helped a lot?
Oh yeah, tenfold. I'd be nowhere without him. And he's got so much experience too that helps out with everything he's teaching us that it's amazing.
Best quality about Bill?
Best quality about Bill? His sense of humor. He's funny. He can be strict though, but then he can lighten up the mood right afterwards. So it's good. I think it's a good way of getting stuff done. Being able to have that strict but funnier, softer side.
Yeah, so you've been on two teams obviously now. One in fall of 2017 and now spring. You're a leader in spring of 2018. What team did you say worked the hardest? Or are they about the same?
Honestly, right about the same. Last semester, last semester I definitely worked harder because I slacked off last semester. And then my group really came together, and then when I decided to come back to school, I tried my best to help them out too, but they did really good, diligent work.
Now, is there a favorite memory of coming when you came back?
All of them. I don't know. There's not one particular favorite memory because every class is a new great memory that I'm making.
This class, you said you were slacking a little bit. What made you come back to college or just TV production in general?
My mom and sister. They basically told me to stop screwing off, and I really need to get my head out of my butt and go to school because it's what I wanted to do, and they were right, it's what I wanted to do. I was just lazy.
Now, is there any one person that you want to point out other than our instructor, Bill?
In class?
Yeah. Either of the classes.
There would be two. You and Al.
Really?
Yeah, I like you guys a lot. And you help out tremendously with everything. I wouldn't know lights without you.
Lighting is actually really difficult.
Yeah, it's a
It's
lot.
hard to learn at first.
Turning them on is the easy part, but making the background of a green screen flush is not easy.
No, but you've done the lighting work. So what part of working with all these essential tools do you like working with the most? Do you like working with the production line, which held the audio and the camera switch? Or would you rather be here on the stage on your heavy cameras?
There's two things that I like equally. I'd prefer to either be in front of a camera, like up here, or editing. I'm really enjoying editing. I don't know why. A lot of people said it's kind of crappy and time consuming, but I enjoy it.
You picked up editing just this semester, did you not?
Yeah, I didn't do any of the editing last semester.
You learned really quick. How were you able to learn so quickly?
Bill had a JCC alum, Corey, come in, and I tried picking up everything I could from him, and then besides that, you and Al also helped me out with little things I don't know what to do.
Would you recommend this class to anybody?
Every single person. Every single person. You need to take it.
Would you recommend both of the JCC TV courses?
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Everyone should try it at least once. There's so much to this class.
All right, well, Jacob, I want to thank you very much for your time, and, well, let's get going to class.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, I'm here with the last two SPs. I saved the best for last. You two, don't worry about that. On my left, I got
Matthew Melendez.
And on my right?
Nick Tangia.
All right, guys, so how did you even hear about JCC TV Production?
I was just talking to my counselor, and I was asking, and I was telling her like about classes that I was interested in, and one of the things I was interested in would be TV production, video production, is what I said. And then she said, hey, I got a class, you might want to take it. I'm like, what is it? She said, TV production. I'm like, all right, what is it? And then she told me what it is, and she told me it's with this guy named Bill. He's the one that teaches it. And I asked about reviews on the guy, and there were students saying he's a good teacher and everything. And I said, all right, so I'm gonna take it. And yeah.
I heard about TV production from my friend Alex and my friend Kamari. They used to come here, and I just thought it was a dope class. I used to have class in the art studio over there, and I used to see people on the TV, and I'm like, yo, I would like to do it. So then I came here, been here for 2 semesters straight.
So it wasn't an easy choice to come back. Matt, we'll start with you.
To come back to this class?
Yeah, just as an SP.
Oh no, I love this class, to be honest. So, and I'm gonna be here next spring to do an internship too.
I felt as though this was a particularly fun class. You can make it fun. Depends more on like the people you're working with and stuff, but it's still fun. Like it's a chill class, and I just thought, hey, I can do this class again and get 3 credits, and could have fun doing so. So why not? And I want to learn more from the experience from taking this class.
Now, this may sound like a dumb question, but, you know, that happen in interviews. Would you recommend this class to anyone? And would you rather be sitting in a desk, or would you rather be here?
Oh no, to be honest, I've recommended Erica and Shelby to come back again, but their schedules are kind of. But I recommend this class to anybody. I mean, it's fun. You're not writing all day. You know, you're having fun moving around. So it's a dope class.
Yeah, like 100%. Like this class, there's not that many flaws in this class. If someone's interested in this, of course I'd recommend it to them. I've recommended it to a few of my friends before. They said they're going to take it next year. So we'll see what happens from there.
What's the one thing you've learned out of you guys' 2 semesters?
I learned that you have to be on time. You really have to be on time. And, you know, just as long as you're doing what you have to do, you know, being nice, you know, not having a bad attitude, then you'll have a great time, because Bill is a great instructor. So you just gotta get along with him and get along with everybody, and I guess you'll do fine.
I've learned that a whole camera can cost more than your car. I've learned that you can cooperate with people pretty well through just working together, and people have a bunch of different ideas about things, and you can collaborate when you're working on projects and gain closer relationship and get more connections through that. And I've also learned how to work a camera somewhat. And there's a bunch that goes behind TV production that we don't know about until we actually like take a class or something related to it.
Now, would you guys also say that being in intro TV helped? Instead, say if you just did intro TV, would you be happy with that?
Oh, I'll be 20 times happy. It taught me a lot, especially when I watch TV shows. I know certain stuff, like if they cut bad or if the TV show is kind of boring, you know. So I learned a lot from this class, to be honest. You know how to edit, you know how to set up a scene, how to get everybody together, and just acting like right now. It's like it's not that easy, you know.
Yeah. I may be like confused to your question. By just this class,
Yeah.
you mean like for like taking it for college?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like I like this class and everything, but there are classes in college that I like taking too. But this is definitely one of my favorite. So beyond like everything that I've learned here, I enjoy this class, but I don't think this would be the only class that I would take.
All right, Has working with a group of people, because you guys have worked with 2 teams now, has that helped you a lot with working with others in different classes?
Yes, it helped me a lot, but with this class, basically is what you have a group, but if that person doesn't show up, then you know it's like, damn. Especially in other classes too, let's say you have a group, that one person's not working hard, then it's like, kind of like, it's a lot of weight on your shoulder. You want to try to get them there, or if they don't show up at all, then you know, that's one person down, so you probably have to do 2 times the work, but it helped me a lot, like getting to know each other. We all have different backgrounds. I basically don't get, like I don't relate to a lot of people here, but you adapt, you know?
Yeah, and like, I'm just gonna add on to that too. Like, a lot of people people have different backgrounds and stuff, but everyone's a human being, and yeah, like we all think the same. So like, we can come up with similar ideas, and we can work together those ideas. So if I'm working in a group, from being in TV production, I've learned to work efficiently with a group, and I've seen other people work efficiently with groups before. And the only like flaw sometimes is that people have different ideas about things, and if you get that one person that doesn't agree with everyone else on the subject, that could be an issue. But you don't want to make it into like a problem, so you just gotta find a way to word yourself right and tell them, hey, listen, we're gonna do it like this, okay? The votes are against you. If we'll do some things your way, but we're doing it this way. That can be problematic, but in the end, I feel like it's helped me working in groups.
In these 2 classes you've taken, what's the biggest surprise you've had?
The biggest surprise that I had was the mom making the NBA, you know? That was the biggest surprise, you know? But just overall, I love this class, to be honest. It's like, I'm not gonna lie, this is the best class I ever took it in college, period, to be honest.
Not really sure. Wasn't really surprised too much. I mean, once again, I was surprised that this whole like room that we're in, everything in here, more expensive than my house, all add up together. Now that is crazy, but yeah, I wasn't really like surprised that much.
All right, well, I want to thank you guys very much for letting me interview on this documentary. After this, more behind the scenes of JCC TV Production. Okay, I'm here with 2 of the SBs of TV Production. So on the left, we have
Harold Nichols.
And on my right, we have
Megan Heath.
Alright guys, I'm just going to ask you some simple questions here. Why TV production? What got you into it?
To be honest with you, I tried to go out for audio, digital audio and all that, but it did not work. And I tried the other aspect of it all, recording and all that, and honestly, I've always been a fan of TV anyway, so why not?
Mm-hmm. Megan?
I originally wanted to do theater production, but the class last semester was canceled because nobody wanted to take it. So I was directed by Simone to take this class because it's kind of the same thing, but just more, directed toward TV. And actually, it's a career, so.
Let's get, what's your favorite memory from this year? Because I know you guys were intro students last semester, now you're SPs. Both classes so far, what's your favorite memory?
Honestly, it was actually watching the video that me and my team made at the end of it all of last semester, because it actually had the ending, the ending of the whole semester all put together, and it was pretty damn good.
I think my favorite was all the behind the scenes stuff where everybody was like making jokes and stuff in between things. Or at the end of class, that was really fun.
So was it an easy decision to come back as SPs?
Of course it was.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And what do you like so far about this class? This particular group of intro students?
They're really into it, a lot more than last semester. The kids, they're gung-ho about it, and they want to do everything.
Or make something out of it, They seem like they're very, like you said, they're very into it and everything. Like, I see a totally difference from my semester and this semester. And it's, hopefully we make something awesome, but it's going to be awesome, great.
All right, thank you guys. Hello and welcome to JCC Behind the Scenes. I am Jeremy Becker and I'm here with Bill Olson, who taught in Hollywood for 30 years. He was a member of the Writers Guild of America and the Directors Guild of America. So Bill, you produced in Hollywood. Why did you come back?
I got too old. It's a young game, and once I hit my late 50s, it's really difficult to get any kind of a job.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that like normal for producers in Hollywood?
It's normal for everyone in Hollywood. It's a young person's game, without a doubt. Now, I had my network of friends, but what happened was they all either retired or died, and you sort of run out of network. And when you're pitching across the table, if somebody's 25 years old and you're 50-something, they think, you know, wow, I'm not going to listen to this old fart.
Now, that must have been frustrating for you to deal with young guns when you're nearing the end of your...
It was frustrating with some of them. Some of them I got to work with, you know, in a non-adversarial way. That was a lot of fun, you know. I got to pass on some of the tips and knowledge that I had, and they got to keep me young. So similar to what I'm doing here.
Right. So what were your plans when you came back? Were you going to teach, or were you just going to retire? And
I didn't really have any big plans. I wanted to do some photography. I wanted to write. I had some projects, and I did a few projects around town, video projects for various sources, but this sort of came out of nowhere. Simone Selstrom approached me and talked to me. She was in need of somebody to teach television here at JCC, and it sounded like a great opportunity.
So that was going to be my next question. How did you even hear about this opportunity at JCC?
Yeah, see, I'm already ahead of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was through Simone. I was on vacation in the Adirondacks, and I just happened to be in the supermarket parking lot and had some cell service, because the rest of the week I didn't have any. And she called out of the blue. I didn't know what the number was, and she said she'd gotten my card at one of the college nights that they used to hold at the gym, and she called me up because she needed somebody to teach TV.
Now, teaching and producing are two different things.
Yeah.
And so, like, how does working with college students compare to working with actors in that aspect?
Well, there are a lot of similar qualities and traits you need for both of them, teaching and for producing, because it's all about communication. It's about setting up goals and what you want done and when you want it done, and then teaching and helping and cajoling and pushing people into doing it. The thing about JCC that's fun is that you guys are all fresh. You're not jaded, you're not cynical about show business or TV, and you're excited about learning things. On the other hand, one of the frustrating things is I only have you for a semester or two, and then you're gone. And that's sad for me, because I think we could really build. Now, this is your third semester, and you're doing this independent studies. You can see how much you've learned in the last 3 semesters.
Yeah,
so.
it's a lot of fun. I've had certainly a lot of fun. I thank you for everything you've taught me.
Oh, my pleasure.
Now, what is your favorite memory of your TV student so far? Like, is there any one memory that stands out?
Of which one?
Of any class.
Any class. You know, there's so many of them. This is a particularly good class this semester. They're really focused. They pick up on things very fast. One of the things I've learned about teaching is that you have to be adaptable. You can't judge going into the semester what a class is going to be like. I found I've had to step things up in this class, and you've been around this class, you know they're really sharp. They ask very pointed and pertinent questions. They really want to get the things going, and they've absorbed these ideas really fast. So I've had to push up the schedule quite a big deal. As far as one particular instance, I don't really think I have one. Last semester we shot that nice video in conjunction with the Small Business Development Center, and that was really a nicely done professional video. We had a whole audience of people from outside, and I think that they were really impressed with the students and what we're able to do here.
Now, there's a lot of potential from the students. Is there like a group of students that you want to like name, or you want to keep everyone in one group?
Well, you know, I've had some really great students that are going on and pursuing their studies elsewhere. Tim Butler comes to mind, Tess Wolski. They were all in my first group of students. But there have been so many. You know, there's really a bunch of them that fall into that category. I often tell the story, I wish I could get a bus, and there's about 10 or 12 students that put on that bus. We go out to Hollywood, we could do a show easily. So that's, you know, pretty nice praise for the students, the quality of students here at JCC.
I noticed in one of the old commercials that we have, you talked about when you first came on the stage and you first seen what the equipment had. You said it was Hollywood level stuff. Can you elaborate?
Well, you could do any show from this location. This set is gorgeous. I mean, there's, you know, you got all of this stuff. You got the green screen potential. These are all professional lights we've got going here, Lowell's. The cameras are all Sony HD. I mean, this is a setup you could do any show you wanted from this set.
It's a beautiful set.
Yeah.
But if you had a chance to go back and produce, would you, or would you continue teaching?
Well, it would depend on a lot of factors. One being who I'm working with and the people involved and what the show is.
Any actor you don't want to work with?
Well, there were a lot of them then that I didn't want to work with and I had to, but there are some now that I would never work with.
Like who?
Roseanne. Yeah, they can dress that show up all they want. It's going to be more trouble, I'll tell you right away. She's impossible to work with.
There's a lot of spin-ups coming around recently of
Yeah,
old shows. Do you think, was that popular when you were producing?
Not quite so much, you know. I mean, sequels in the movie business have always been around, but, you know, as far as television, once thing is gone, it's gone. I just don't know. Either there's a lack of new imaginative thinking, or everybody is just trying to cover their bets with things that are there's a reason those shows went off the air. They got old and tired and people got tired of watching them. I mean, it's pretty simple. Just because you think, oh, yeah, it's like Roseanne. I hate to pick on that because there's a lot of them, but I see these ads, you know, Roseanne, same cast, same old crap, okay? It's like, give me a break. Come up with something new. Nobody wants to roll the dice. Everybody's afraid. And you know, to a certain extent, I understand why. It's very expensive, very laborsome to launch a show, and they don't have time to build an audience anymore. You know, Seinfeld was a complete bomb the first run that it went through, the first season. It took another, like halfway through the second season before it really caught on. Now, they would have canceled it after 10 episodes. You know, there you go.
So, you talk about producing. What was your favorite aspect of doing it, actually, day by day in Hollywood?
Well, I loved being able to work with all the different people and having my hand on, you know, I could get my hand on everything and building a show and then writing that show or guiding the writing of that show and then getting it from an idea to reality is the most fun, and that's what a producer does. You take an idea at 5 in the morning, and by 1 in the afternoon, it's a half-hour television program.
And you have to go through the 5 stages of production to go through that, and I'll talk
every
about
day.
That. Yeah, I'll talk about that in a separate video, second part of this
Every
documentary.
day you go through all of those stages.
And just I noted that it becomes emotion,
Yeah.
and it's just like something quick and simple, but it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
But in like producing, you talked about you have to like have this small time frame.
Mm-hmm.
But like to a student who wants to become a TV producer, do you have like any advice for them?
Well, watch TV. That's the first thing, you know, because you can learn a lot from watching shows. I can watch a show and know if people are having a good time on that show or not. I can tell instantly, just the way it comes across. If they're having fun, I'm having fun watching it. If they're not having fun, it's laborious, it's laborious, it's like plotting, it's like ho-hum. You can just tell. So
I'm pretty sure a lot of people have probably asked you, I'm sorry to jump to a different subject again, but probably the most common question for you is, how do I get a job there? How do I get a job in LA?
Yeah, that's the most important thing for most young people. They want to know. The way I did it was networking. That's the most important thing. It's who you know, and you have to get your name out there, and you have to meet people, and you have to work with people. And I got a job at entry level. I was a gopher, a runner, they're called, and I would drive around and deliver stuff, do pickups, pick up the executive producers, dry cleaning, Xerox checks, just any kind of thing to keep the show running. It gave me an entry level into the world of production, and also I got to see what everyone else was doing. So
should like new future producers look to be humble and work through their ranks,
Absolutely.
or try to go directly into producing?
No, you can't do it. You cannot do it. It's like very rarely can anyone go from point A to point Z. I mean, you got to take the steps in between. The great fortune I had was having to work at each of those jobs on the way up through. Then I understood them. I mean, I was a runner. I knew where things were in Hollywood, you know? And when I was producing and somebody said, oh, I can't get to Beverly Hills and back in 45 minutes, I'd say, yes, you can. Take Olympic. You know, it's like I knew because I had done that. And then as I worked my way up, I worked a lot in the edit bays with the editors, and they can make or break you. They can make you look great, or they can make you look foolish. And I got to be very good friends with all of them, and they saved me later on when I was producing. Those are the kinds of things you do. You build on each step, you build on that. And then once you get to the top, people will respect you because you didn't just come in. You're not somebody's relative, or you didn't just get a pass. You earned your way up through. I was Entertainment Tonight. I was there for 15 years, so that's a long haul.
Yeah. So, did you work any under noteworthy producers?
Oh, quite a few, yeah. I mean, Andy Friendly was the first producer of Entertainment Tonight. His dad, Fred Friendly, and Ed Murrow invented television news. In fact, there's a movie starring George Clooney, it's in black and white, that is about Fred Friendly and Ed Murrow. But there were a lot of famous guys. Kenny Ehrlich was the first producer I ever worked for. He just did the Grammy Awards. He's done those for, since 1979 or 80, I think. He's done them every year. Yeah, yeah. And, there have been a litany of others.
Was there, like, a particular producer you loved working for as any part of his staff?
Well, they weren't his name was Sandy Grushaw. Sandy Grushaw is his name, and he was one of the higher-ups at Fox. He left and started his own production called TeleTV. It was the forerunner of all the digital revolution that's going on now. It involved 3 phone companies. They all put their resources together, and I did the original pilot presentation show. We spent $1 million of the phone company's money, which I loved doing. And Sandy was an excellent executive. He really knew his stuff. He knew how to communicate what he wanted and when he wanted it, and he was really great to work with. I would have loved to have worked with him more. He worked under a guy named Howard Stringer, who is now at Sony. I believe he's the president of Sony now, but he was the president of CBS News for years, and Howard Stringer came along and was part of this TeleTV group. So that was really groundbreaking stuff, and it was exciting.
So, is there any more noteworthy things you want to mention on this part of the documentary? Anything to the students at JCC or to my audience?
Not so much noteworthy as perhaps an encouragement. Sometimes I get the feeling that people from this area kind of are insecure. Oh, I just come from little Jamestown, I can't go and do that. You can. I mean, I did. And many other people have done it in all kinds of fields. It doesn't just have to be television. I saw in the paper where there's several people at the Olympics. One of the luge coaches went to school at Faulkner. You see it all the time. You and I spoke about the guy who won the Grammy that was from Faulkner. There's another one from Westfield who won a Grammy. Just because you start here doesn't mean that you can't go places. It's really up to you.
All right. Well, Bill, I really want to thank you for sitting down with me in this interview.
My pleasure. Good luck to you.
Thank you. And stay tuned, because I have more fun bloopers from behind the scenes of JCC TV Production.
Oh, no.